Hello, welcome to class. I'm
Hello,
Kate. Hi, Daniel.
yes,
Nice to see you.
nice to see you
Okay,
too.
so I'm just going to introduce the class and
Okay,
then I'll ask you some questions. So today, for those of you who are watching, we're going to talk about the news. So essentially, we're going to read an article, um, review any new vocabulary or phrases, do some exercises for comprehension, and then at the end, we'll do some discussion about this article. Okay, and so as most of you know, this is one of many classes available on Verbling, 24 hours a day. They're all language classes by native teachers. And to watch them, they're free, right? But if you want to participate, you can participate for a small fee. Okay, so we have some students arriving. So let's see. Daniel, where are you calling
hello, good afternoon. I'm from Spain.
from? Spain. Okay, I live in Spain.
I'm living in Salamanca.
I'm Salamanca. I live in Barcelona.
Ah, okay.
So not too close, but all right.
No,
And Dario, it's nice to see you again.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks. You?
Good, thank you. And hello, Rafa.
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Great. And Rafa, where are you calling from?
Also, I am from Spain, from Madrid.
Ah, great. Okay. So we're also in the same country at least. Okay. So tell me, so Dario, we've met before, but Daniel and Rafa, why don't you tell me what's your background with English? Have you been studying for a long time? Have you taken many Verbling classes?
okay. I studied at school French language,
Okay.
but for job I need to learn English.
Right.
I began 3 years ago by myself, and I'm learning in Berlin 5 months ago, maybe.
Great. So you said you learned it in Berlin or you lived in Berlin?
Sorry?
You said you were taking classes in Berlin?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
taking classes in Berlin, at
Okay.
least through in Berlin, at least through classes per day.
Great. Okay, that's great.
Yes.
And Rafa, what about you?
Yes, I've been learning at Berlin the last 3 months. Before I was at Colingo, on very similar web page as Berlin, and also for myself, I've been studying for 2 or 3 years ago.
Great. Wonderful. And we have a newcomer, Eduard.
Hi, teacher.
Hi. Hi. Did I say your name correctly?
Yes, it's correctly.
Okay, good. And where are you
Correct.
calling from today?
I'm calling from Colombia.
From Colombia. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch the game?
Yes, I'm waiting for the game.
Yes. Okay. Well, good luck. Um, and so let's see, Eduard. How long have you been studying English?
I learned English in 2005, but I've never practiced it.
Okay.
So
All
I'm
right.
practicing now.
Good. And have you taken other classes on Verbling?
Yes, I have taken some private sessions and group sessions.
Great. Okay. So if I didn't say this before, I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher from the United States, and my profile says I live in Andorra, which is where I was teaching English, but now I'm actually living and working in Spain, in Barcelona. So it's great to have all of you here. And as I explained earlier, today's class will be based on something we all read together, right? It's about a news article that we'll look through. We'll learn some new vocabulary and expressions. And then at the end of class, we'll save some time for to have a good discussion and practice our speaking skills. All right, so do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
Okay, so I have a question about numbers, actually. So, and you'll see why this is related in a minute. So, how do you pronounce this number? It's in the Verbling box.
2 million.
2 million. Great. What about this?
2 billions.
2 billion, singular.
Billion.
2 billion, good. And this one?
2,000 billions.
Or we have another name for that.
Trillion?
2 trillion, good.
Okay.
And then can anyone go one further? Okay, this one is 2 quadrillion. And so I'll show you the headline of our article, and you'll see why I asked you about this. So the article we'll be reading today is called Man Sues New York City for this much money.
Oh.
Okay, so
It's unreadable.
it's unreadable, yeah. So even for me, I had no idea how to pronounce that number, what that number was, right? But we'll learn it in the article. Okay, and does everyone know what to sue is? What it means to sue someone?
No.
No. Okay, does anyone know?
No.
Okay, so when
Yes,
Sorry?
when someone has put a demand to the lawyers at the judge for any complaint about anything at the judge.
Good, great. So for instance, if you so you can sue a company or an individual, right? And so if you feel like someone has done something wrong, right? So imagine you you buy a product and the product malfunctions and you get hurt, right? Then you might sue the company and ask them for money.
Claim?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like you make a claim for money, right?
Okay.
Okay, is that clearer now?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
All right, so before we read the article, I want you to take a guess or imagine why a man might sue New York City. What do you think New York City did to this man?
Pollution.
Pollution. Okay, that's a good idea.
Only guessing, I think it could be New York is so dangerous because there are a lot of bumps on the street, and perhaps for an accident on the street.
You're saying bums like homeless people.
Bumps like holes in the street.
I thought you said bums. Okay. I was like, that's okay. Great. So bumps in the holes, right? So when you're driving and if your car hits a bump or whatever, you could definitely get hurt. Great. Okay? So in either case, yeah, you would get hurt and you would sue the city. Okay. All right. So do we have Ken here who just joined us? Hello? Okay, I'm not sure if he can hear me, but
Hello?
hi, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Sorry, I take a time for downloading Hangout, so
No
I
problem.
cannot reply so quickly.
Okay. And is it Ken?
Yeah, yes, my name is AKA Ken, so
Okay, Ken.
nice
Okay.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Have you been following along with the class?
Oh, I just came back, so I didn't watch the class.
So you're actually here in the perfect amount of time because we're about to read the article.
Okay.
So I will send you the link in the the Verbling box. Here you have the link to the article.
A single person sues New York, a man.
Yes, a single person. One man, right, sues the city for this insane amount of money. And we'll learn why when we read the article. Okay, so does everyone have this open?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let us read this out loud, okay? And we'll read it together and practice pronunciation, right? I'll make any corrections if I hear something wrong. Okay, so I'll start the reading and I will pass it on to someone, okay? And we'll all take turns reading. Okay. Let's see, and Anna, you've just joined us. Hello?
Hello, my name is
Anna.
Roman. No, it's okay. It's my wife,
Okay. What's your name?
Roman.
Roman. Okay, nice to meet
Yeah.
you. Okay, and so if you look in the Verbling box, you have a link to the news story we'll be reading. We're just about to start. Okay, so, all right, so man sues New York City for a whole lot of money. All right, there's a phrase in English when someone gets a big salary that they earn telephone numbers. A man in New York is suing the city and others for so much that it is almost impossible to think of a comparison. Okay, let's see. AKA Ken, can you continue?
Okay. So I lost. What word? From what
Starting
word?
with Anton Purisima.
And Anton Prisma, 62, is suing for two undecillion over undecillion.
Good.
Over 99.99% of English speakers would not know or have heard of the word for this amount.
Great. Okay. Can you pass it on to a classmate?
Okay. So Rafa, please read after this.
Yeah. That astronomical figure is $2 undecillions, a
Good.
2 followed by 36 zeros. The only people who are likely to need this word are probably astrophysicists and astronomers. $2 undecillion is, in fact, more than all the money in the whole world. Even more than all the wealth created throughout humankind's entire history.
Great. Okay. Eduard, can you continue?
Okay. So what the New York City to do some wrong to be sued for such a mind-bogglingly
A mind-bogglingly.
bogglingly gargantuan sum. Quite a lot, it seems. The New York Post reports that Mr. Purisima is suing the city as well as two local hospital, LaGuardia Airport, and the transportation system, a bakery, and even a dog owner, for civil rights violations, personal injury, discrimination in national origin, retaliation, harassment, fraud, attempt, murder, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and conspiracy to defraud.
Oh,
Why?
okay, good.
Okay.
Good. A lot of big words there. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
And Dario, can you finish the text?
Yeah. Well, it's because last month Robbie's infected dog bit his finger on a city bus. Then a Chinese couple took photos of him without asking. And to add insult to injury, he is routinely overcharged for coffee at LaGuardia Airport.
Good. He is routinely overcharged. It means
Oh,
he pays too much. Okay, so in general, I think there's a lot of difficult vocabulary, and there are some idioms in this article. So, and Diana, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. You?
Good. Great, thank you. So, have you been following along with the class?
No. I
That's
need a link.
No worries. So if you look in the Verbling box, you'll find the link to the article. that we're-
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any questions right now?
About vocabulary?
Yeah. So right now, I'm gonna ask you to go back on your own, so by yourself, and reread the article, and write down any words or phrases that you find
Sorry,
confusing.
you can put the link in group chat because I don't find.
Oh, sure. I'll put it in the group chat.
Yes,
I
thank you.
use the Verbling chat box usually,
Oh,
but that's
it's
fine.
not. Mhm.
Okay, there you go. All right. So yeah. So
Thank
read
you.
through it again. No problem. Read,
what's retaliation means?
retaliation means when someone does something bad to you, and you retaliate. You do something bad to them in return.
Okay. The revenge.
Yeah, it's like revenge.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't everyone go back and read through the article again, and then in like 3 or 4, no, let's say 5 minutes, I'll open it up for questions about vocabulary, idioms, sentences, literally anything. Okay?
Can you tell me what does it mean? A mind boggling guard
Okay, yeah, this is
John.
great. Okay, so mind-boggling is an adjective, and it means impressive, like extremely impressive, or it's almost too impressive to imagine. Okay, and so here, for emphasis, they make mind-boggling an adverb, right? So that's mind-bogglingly. Okay, and then gargantuan just means extremely large. So if you put that together, it means extremely large, right? Gargantuan, to the point that you can't even imagine how impressive it is. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good.
And rabies?
Hmm? Oh,
Well, it's because last month rabies infected. Rabies?
so rabies, it's pronounced rabies, is, have you ever seen animals that have foam at their mouth?
What on the mouth?
Foam. It's like white bubbles coming
Ah,
out of their mouth.
okay.
So it's when animals are sick, right? It's usually dogs or animals like dogs, and if they bite you, you will get infected.
Okay.
We often have, if we know that an animal has rabies,
Without vaccination.
yeah, you have to get a vaccination, yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Retaliation.
Okay, good. So retaliation is like revenge, when you get back at someone.
Harassment?
Harassment. So
Yeah.
harassment can mean different things, but generally it's when you bother someone so much that they would want to take legal action against you.
Okay.
Okay, and so those of you who have been reading and writing down your questions, feel free to ask me whenever you want. We'll just open it up for questions now. Are people still reading, or have you finished rereading?
I have finished.
Finished.
Okay, good. All right, and no other questions?
For me, no.
Okay. All right, so I have some questions for you, for everyone. Okay, what do you think it means in the first sentence? Why would we say that when someone gets a very large salary, they earn telephone numbers?
A number of your salary has a lot of uh, figures.
Yeah, great. So a telephone number is
It's
usually
10
like,
numbers.
Three,
Yeah.
like
six,
9 or 10
six,
numbers.
six figures, no?
Yeah, or more. So if someone with a very, very big salary has telephone numbers. Okay, great. Let's see. Doing we talked about. What does it mean for something to be astronomical?
Very large amount.
Very large. Great. Okay. And can you find a synonym, a word that means the same thing in the article?
Synonym. Okay.
Synonym.
Maybe astrophysicist or something.
No?
Numerous.
Numerous.
Mind-bogglingly, gargantuan sum.
Yeah, so
Astronomical.
astronomical and gargantuan are synonyms. They both mean really, really, really big. Let's see. So this is important. Astrophysicists and astronomers are what?
People who study the stars, the sky, constellations.
Yeah, so they're scientists essentially that are studying
Yes.
physics and the sky. Okay, and the stars. Okay. Mind-bogglingly gargantuan, we discussed. Okay, what about all of the different things he's suing the city for? So, civil rights violations, personal injury. Does everyone know what fraud is?
Yes.
What is
Swindle.
fraud? It's?
Swindle.
The window.
You said default or different
no,
word?
fraud.
Fraud is when you try to um, make a I don't remember the word. So
It's okay. Yeah, good. A swindle. Yeah, so don't say the truth. Okay, great. Yeah, so fraud is essentially lying or cheating in some way.
tangle.
Sorry? What was that?
It's like cheat. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, swindle is a good word also. Good. To lie, to cheat, to swindle. Good. Okay. Emotional distress. What is this whole sentence? Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Let's unpack this. So intentional means
In purpose.
on.
They are talking that someone tried to give them emotional stress intentionally with purpose, in purpose.
Yeah, so to inflict, so that means that inflict just means to cause, right? To inflict something on someone is to cause them to feel something. And in this case, it's emotional distress. It's emotional problems. Okay. And then this is one of my favorite sort of fixed phrases or idioms, to add insult to injury. This is a very nice, pretty phrase in English. And what does it mean? Does anyone have any idea?
Maybe he claimed that the couple took a picture for insult. He felt that insulting.
Okay. So, okay, that's an interesting idea. But in this case,
I don't know.
no, don't worry. So this one is not literal. So in this case, to add insult to injury means on top of that, right, to make things worse, this happened. So in this case, the injury was that this couple was taking photos of him. And then when we add the insult, that would be when he had to pay too much for coffee. So essentially, when something bad happens to you, and then another bad thing happens. So for instance, maybe you could say, so I was late for work, and then I finally made it to the train, but right as the door opened, to add insult to injury, someone spilled coffee all over me.
So it's an idiom.
It's like an idiom.
Okay.
Yeah, good. All right. So those are my questions. Any other questions from you? Nothing. Okay.
It's a joke. This article.
No, it's real. So so this website, Breaking News English, it takes news articles from different newspapers and makes the language a little bit easier for different levels of English learners. And so this one is one of the like intermediate to advanced articles, because you're a bit of a higher group, right? But it's taken from, if you look under the text, you'll see sources, right? The International Business Times, The Independent, and Time.com. So this is a real story.
I don't know, because the American law or the American court allowed this kind of shoes. It's
Yeah, no, it's so I don't think.
it's money. The administration has to spend money from the people, from the tax. In this,
Absolutely. But the one thing is, so he sued the city, right? He wanted to get money from them, but that doesn't mean that they will give him money. It just means that he wanted to legally make a case for this. So they didn't actually pay him two, what is it, undecillion dollars. But yeah, it's still pretty insane that that would even go to a court or whatever. Okay. Other questions or comments?
Maybe if he use a kind of public defender and the trial itself maybe spend some budget from the tax. So
Yeah,
in that sense, his act is, this lot of suing kind of thing is kind of damage to the people's
it's a big
people.
burden
Yeah.
on taxpayers. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Um, so let's see. We have a newcomer. Hello, Dom.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. It's
Have
not
you
bad.
been have you been following along with the class or?
No, it's my first time that I'm in
Okay,
that
no
class.
problem. So
Yes.
if you look in the here, I'll send you the link to the article we've just read.
Okay.
So
Uh,
if you, it's
I
in.
okay. I already opened.
Oh, you have it. Okay, great. So just read that, and we're going to do some comprehension questions about this article, and
Uh,
then as a class, we'll all discuss it in a few minutes.
okay.
Okay, let me know if you have questions. All right. So for the rest of you, I want you to look at the true or false section to the right of the article.
Third and fourth section.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a few minutes, and I want you to do these true or false activities on your own, and then we'll review them as a class.
Okay.
But I want you to think about them by yourself first. So you can write down your answers and just so you remember what you said, and then we'll discuss them in a few minutes.
And okay. Yeah, so now I have to read on my own.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yes. Okay.
We just finished reading. But if you
Okay. Thank you.
have questions though, Dom, just ask me, okay? You can just interrupt me and say, Kate, what does this mean, or whatever.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Uh,
Hi, Adela. Adela?
and sorry, Kathleen.
Yeah.
I don't know what sighing means. In New York is sighing the city and others.
Suing. So,
Suing, yeah.
suing. So do you know what it means to sue someone?
To sue, I know.
To sue is when you take legal action against a person or a company. So for instance,
Ah,
if you buy a product and it doesn't work and
okay.
it somehow hurts you, you
You,
could sue the company.
okay, you can complain about
You
the
complain and you ask for money in court.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, so let's review the true or false activity, and it's okay if you're not finished. All right, so who would like to do A?
I.
Okay. Go ahead.
If someone earns telephone numbers, they get a low salary. I think this is false.
False. Excellent. All right. B?
Most English speakers know what an undecillion is. False.
False. I did not know what an undecillion was before reading this. Okay, definitely false. All right. C?
Me. An undecillion is a 1 followed by 36 zeros. That is false.
It's truth.
True.
True.
It's true.
Yes.
I,
Because
I say that because in the article says that that amount is 2 undecillions. So one undecillion can be 36. Okay.
yeah, do you see? So it says, so yeah, this is tricky, but it says that astronomical figure is $2 undecillion, which is a 2 followed by 36 zeros. So here, after the dash, when it says a 2 followed by 36 zeros, that's all referring to the figure of $2 undecillion.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Good. All right. D.
Me. All of the hills in the world amounts to around 3 undecillion. False.
Good. Why did you say false?
Because 2 undecillions is more than that.
Excellent. Yeah. It says 2 undecillions is more than all money in the world, and even more, I think this is so crazy, it's even more than all the wealth created through humankind's entire history. Okay, so it's a lot of money.
We don't have enough mind to think about it.
Exactly, yeah, it's mind-boggling, right? We can't process it. Okay.
I frozen thinking about it.
All right, let's see. E, who can do E?
Okay, me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Hmm.
Okay. Why?
Because so what did New York City do wrong to be sued for so much mind-blowing global sum? Quite a lot,
Okay. And do
it
you think
seems.
that this is, no, yeah, this is a tricky question. I think you could, honestly, I think this one could go either way, right? Because literally, the article said, what did New York City do wrong? This, and this. And it listed like 10 different things. But what is the tone of the article in that part?
It seems, yeah, it's a bit ambiguous.
Yeah, it's a bit sarcastic even, right? It's kind of poking fun at this. So in that sense, it could be false, right? So this one I think is the only ambiguous answer. So good. But literally, yes, the article does support this. Okay. Who can do F?
Sorry, but where is the main sentence in this phrase? Said it, the main verb.
Okay, so the article said,
It
so said is the verb.
said, it appears.
So if this makes it easier, the article, it's the same thing as saying the article said that it appears New York did a lot of wrong things.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. All right, F?
A man is suing an airport, a bakery, and 2 hospitals. I think it's true.
True. Why?
Because the last part of the article is say that Mr. Purisima is suing the city as well as two local hospitals, LaGuardia Airport, a transportation system, a bakery, and even a dog owner. So,
It's false
Why do you say false?
because just it was city too, but here it's menacing an airport, a bakery, and two hospitals.
but it's
But
not saying only.
Yeah, yeah. So I think here that's true, but I think Dario's right. It doesn't say only. I think it would say only if it meant just the airport, the bakery, and the hospitals. Okay, so it's here. It's implied that it's among other things. G. Who can do G?
The man suing New York was bitten by a rat. False.
Right, because he was bitten by a
A dog.
dog. Good. And the last one? Who
The
can do
man is also suing because coffee at an airport is too expensive. True.
true? Right? Because when you're overcharged, it means that's too expensive. Okay.
So I'd like to ask the meaning of overcharge. So,
Good.
because shop show the price of the coffee, but even though it is overcharge, it is categorized overcharge. You know, how can I say? If the shop say the $3 for coffee, but they charge the $5 or $10 for coffee.
Mhm. Exactly. So essentially on
That's the
the
image of overcharging for me, but
okay, so here, so when you say you were overcharged, it can kind of have two meanings. One is that imagine you go to a city and you go to the main street, right? And you go to a cafe. At that cafe, right in the center of the city, that's full of tourists, they're going to overcharge you in the sense that their prices will be inflated, right? But here, it seems to indicate that this is the other meaning of to overcharge. So the cafe said coffee is €2 or whatever, right? And so he ordered a coffee, and then when he went to pay, they said, okay, €4, please. Right? So they said one price and charged him more than that price.
You pay more than the real price.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Ichamo? Hi. Did I say your name correctly? Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but anyway, okay, so any other questions? Okay, so.
Yes, it's correct. Hi, how are you, Kate?
Hi, how are you? Have you been following along with the class?
No, just coming in.
Okay, no problem. So here is the article that we read. Okay, and why don't you take a look at it, and then we can you can join our discussion. Okay. So any questions, comments? Okay, so I want you to, we're going to talk about the article. I want you to try and use any new vocabulary or phrases that we've learned, if possible. And feel free to speak whenever, just do not interrupt your classmates. Okay, so I'll start us off. Do you think that this man should have sued New York City? Do you think it was justified?
I don't think so.
Okay, explain why.
From my point of view, this action was only to catch some attention from society, maybe from city, to his problem, because it's usually, of course, it's unreal to suit so much money, but on the other hand, some officials, some people who are responsible for this injuries can satisfy this man in some way.
Okay.
So I don't think that he can get so astronomical sum.
Great. Okay. So you don't think he should get such an astronomical sum?
Such
Okay.
an astronomical sum.
Good. Great. Any responses or comments?
Yeah, I think that this guy don't know how to live with other people. He doesn't know how to live in society. It seems like everything gets him hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So he doesn't know how to live in society. He should learn to live with other people. Okay. Good.
I think the main problem is about the amount, the total amount,
Mm-hmm.
because the fact that the dog without vaccination has bited him, the risk,
In him. Sorry, one thing.
but there is a very
Like this. It's irregular.
that's billion. Okay.
Good. Okay. Continue. Sorry.
This fact is real, but I think that the amount is very, very higher.
Yeah, it's inflated. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Very good.
I think the astronomical figure is for the people told about his problem.
Okay.
If you read that figure in the newspaper, and then you read all the entire article, because
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
it's a huge figure. What happened, and then you read about his problem.
great. Yeah, so it's something to catch people's attention.
Catch people's attention. I didn't know that expression. Catch
Yeah.
people's attention. Okay.
To catch
Yeah.
someone's attention.
Yeah. Probably he's lonely and he feel anger, so to reduce such stress. But it's a kind of he doesn't know how to live in a society because it damages the society actually. But jury have to go to this kind of trial too, kind of in America, a kind of civil affairs trial.
I don't know. In the U.S., if you have a trial, there's and it's a public case, there's always a jury. So.
Wow. So some American people have to go to his trial.
Yeah, so can you imagine
That's annoying.
if you have to miss a day of work to listen to this man complain?
I see.
Okay. Let's see. Any other comments?
I think he wants revenge, but it's not the appropriate way to resolve the things, and because he didn't have argue to ensuing the city. I think he's a little bit crazy, in my opinion.
He's a little crazy. Yeah, he seems a little off.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So okay.
I think he'll need a very good lawyer to have success because
he'll have a lot of money.
It's possible to pay, percentage the lawyer earn to the percentage is possible.
Yes.
He doesn't need a good lawyer. He needs God as a lawyer.
Yes.
He needs God as a lawyer. I like that. And let's see. So if he did win this case, how would the city pay him?
Can you repeat the question?
So if he did win the case,
Okay.
how would the city?
Mhm.
That's
If
my
he won,
Taking
it would be
taking a
impossible.
mortgage.
one at a time.
If he won, it would be impossible for city to find so astronomical money.
Yeah. Okay. Such an astronomical amount of money, it would be impossible.
They
Yeah.
have to print more money, but it causes inflation, I think.
Inflation.
In the whole of world.
Yeah, in the whole world, right? So this would be a big problem.
I think it's the bigger cipher, the bigger amount that I think any country had spent in all your history. That amount of expenditure. Things like this cipher, this amount of money.
Yeah. Good.
It's very impossible. It's
Right. It's just too big to imagine.
yes.
Mind-boggling. And in general, what do you think of people suing other people? This is fairly common in the United States. Is it common in your country? Do you think it's a good way to solve problems?
No, I think it's depend on the case. If you have, if yes, if it's the last chance you had, you are strained to do so.
You're
But
forced to do so.
yes, you are forced to do so. But I think the best way is always the friendly way.
Good. Yeah,
Yes.
to find some agreement before you go to this legal.
Yes. Yes. The I think in the typical cases where when there are the car accident, I think, and it's not very damage of the cars. The
There's
cars,
not much damage.
yes. I think it's there are document, for example, I think in our country where two people agreement where the fault for the one people to other people, for one driver for towards the other drivers, and they agreement about that signing simple document.
Come to an agreement about
Yes,
that. Okay.
they come to an agreement. Only sign that document.
Oh, okay. So in your country there is sort of a better solution. Maybe.
Yes, better searches. Yes.
Okay. And I want to hear from others about this. Do you think this is a good practice? Is it common in your country?
So sometimes people don't understand. People can get an agreement between them. For example, my neighbor is always having the stereo loud, but very loud.
Oh, that's the worst. I hate
Yes,
that.
it's bothered me so much. So I've been talking to him to try to make an agreement with him, but he doesn't understand. So in my country, I cannot suit him,
You
but
can't.
I can do it because it will take long to resolve that problem, like a year.
Yeah.
Government here is very different from the United States government.
In the U.S. it takes a long time also, but yeah, no, it doesn't seem like a very efficient way to
No,
solve problems.
it's a big problem because sometimes you have to resolve by your hands, and
Yeah.
you get conflict. Um, there are some situations when people get killed for that.
Okay. And in this situation, can you call the police?
I can call the police, but when the police leaves, they get loud again.
Okay, so it's an uphill battle. Have you heard this expression?
No.
Uphill battle. It means when you're fighting uphill, right, and you're losing.
Yes, uphill battle then.
Okay. Good. Are there comments about this?
Yeah, from my point of view, this is like evolution of society because here in the United States, or no, I would better to say in North America, people were very friendly and they prefer to delegate such things to lawyers than solve problem personally. So for local people, it's easier to call to police or call to lawyer and start this arguing, then go to the neighbor and told, look, it's too noisy from your apartment.
Okay, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, because if I encounter with this problem and I understand how it works here.
So you're saying that in the U.S. we try to avoid confrontation.
I don't think avoid. I mean delegate all this stuff to police or lawyer. And actually, it's not impossible. Then, for example, when you call to police to your neighbors, and police came, and after police leave, he make noise loud again. It's impossible because when policeman came, and first time he usually has some discussion and he write down personal data, and if you have the same problem next time it can cause more problem for your neighbor.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Good. Okay, a lot of good comments. So we have a few more minutes. Would anyone like to, any last minute comments on the article or ideas?
Yeah, I'm worried about, now here, lawyers, kind of too many lawyers here nowadays. So even though they got a license of the lawyer, some lawyer does not guarantee the high salary or that they can get a job. I mean the work to do. So this could happen in my society too.
Okay, and where are you calling from?
I'm from Japan.
From Japan.
Nowadays, it used to be lawyers are not so many, so they could get a high salary and they could get a lot of work jobs. But nowadays, some lawyers suffer to cannot get customers, and so nowadays the kind of some lawyer office promoting in the commercial, radio commercial, TV commercial, something like that.
So they have to appear on TV commercials and things like that.
Yeah, so they seems like they are trying to create their job. That means more trials.
Yeah, I think that's a problem everywhere, right? In the U.S. also, I've noticed it. And yeah, I think we would say that the market is saturated, right? So many people saw this as an easy career move that now we have so many lawyers and so many adult or college graduates wanting to go to law school. And in the past, it was really easy to find a job, but now not as much. So the same problem here, or in the U.S. Okay, so we're running out of time. So let me ask, are there any last minute questions? Okay, well, as always, feel free to send me a message or anything if you have lingering questions, and thank you all for coming to class. I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay,
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Have a
Bye.
good
See
one.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.